It's an opportunity cost. Do you understand? Does that make sense? You're literally selling something that is probably going to exist if you were to stick around and wait. So same thing is true. If I was to go into my wife and say, I demand a divorce right now, then I'm not just ending the relationship. I'm ending the next 20 years that we might have had together if I could have not been so mad about whatever I was mad about. But again, not judging divorce. I understand it's complicated, but it's because sometimes you realize you're getting rid of a liability, right? So I understand that too. And that's really what it comes down to, right? If you feel like your asset is truly an asset, and you have an expectation that it's going to grow in value, then when you sell, you're not just trading in what you have; you're taking yourself out of the game, right? So that's the key idea. So I told him, I said, you sell if you need the money. You sell if you need to diversify, meaning let's say that your asset has gone up in value. I sold some Nvidia stock, not because I disliked Nvidia, but because I was making too much money in Nvidia. My Nvidia investment went from $8,000 to $180,000 or something, and I said I don't want to have $180,000 in one stock, so I sold it because I don't want to have everything locked up in Nvidia. And then it kept going up. I kept selling more. It would go up. I'd sell some more, but it wasn't because I didn't like Nvidia. It was because I need to be balanced. You always want to have a balanced economic diet. You always want to have a balanced portfolio. When you lose balance, you are putting yourself at risk. Most of us start off unbalanced because we get a job and we're working for one employer who's paying all of our bills, and if that one employer decides they don't want to pay your bills anymore, then you're in deep trouble, right? Anybody who's lost a job knows what I'm talking about. So balance is key. So that's another thing. I sell if I need to maintain balance. The third way I might sell an asset is if I just feel like I have a better investment that I want to make. I have some money in stock. Let's say I have a buddy or a close friend that's starting a business, and I feel like I want to go into business with this person. I like this person enough that hey, I can work with this person, and I want to make this kind of a commitment. Starting a business with a person is like getting married. It really is. It feels. I mean, except maybe sometimes it's deeper. I mean, you're gonna spend a lot of time with that person, and so their character plays a big part. Their work ethic, their intelligence, the things that they're involved with, right? A lot of people don't think about that deeply enough. It's just like relationships. People will just sleep with somebody and say, "Oh, this is my man, this is my woman," and then all the horrible things happen. About 8 months in, once the dopamine wears off, then they start realizing that they might have made a mistake. That's the trick of Mother Nature. So generally speaking, those are the three times you sell. You sell because you need the cash, you need to get balance, or you find a better asset that you just really believe in that much more. But just selling just because you made some money, that's not really highly appropriate in this stock market because there's no point in history, no point ever in American history where if you had a properly balanced portfolio, like if you owned S&P 500 companies, Coca-Cola, Walmart, Nike, whatever, right? Exxon Mobil, there's no point in American history where you could have sold and been making the right decision long term. There's no point where you could have sold and not lost money because you sold. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when you talk to your kids about the stock market and your grandkids, you need to have them understand the stock market needs to be a part of your life. You're just like it's like the financial version of your lungs and your kidneys and your heart. There's no day where you're gonna trade your heart in because you're just done using it. There's no day you're gonna trade in your lungs and your kidneys. You need your lungs and kidneys for your whole life. Do you understand? Does that make sense?